four, three, two, one.
Hi everyone, welcome to EBS, English Brazil Station, the number one radio totally spoken English. You can follow us at social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, and access our website ebsradio.com.co. This is simply economics show, and this I am Anderson, and here we are with Lee Anderson.
Hey guys, hello everyone. How you guys doing? We'll be the hosts for the next half hour. During this time, we'll simplify the economic science to explain what happens in Brazilian economic in an easy way. I'm Lee Anderson Silva. I'm a stock market trader and investor. And Anderson works in B3. Can you tell a little bit about yourself, Anderson?
Yeah, nowadays I work at B3, the Brazilian stock market, and 3 years ago I passed 10 years working at Volkswagen Financial Services. So
Great.
from the beginning of my career, I work in financial institutions.
That's great.
Yeah,
So
and
you got a
now,
big brain.
yeah, and you too, working in the stock market as a trader. And nowadays, and for today, we will spoke a little bit about the Brazilian index. That is the main point of our discussion of the. This is the topic of today is the Brazilian index, economic index, and we will discuss about the GDP, the gross domestic product, inflation rate, and the interest rate in Brazil. Uh, and for start, and sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
Uh,
We can start what,
It's
the
okay.
Anderson.
It's going well so far. Don't worry.
Uh,
In five, four, three, two, one.
the Anderson. What kind of subject would you like to start to explain?
Anderson, let's talk about the Brazilian central bank, okay, the Bacen. Let's talk about the GDP. What you think?
Yeah, we can talk about that. The GDP is the gross domestic product. It's based on the how much every company in Brazil produce and sells in the Brazilian market, plus all exportation that Brazil does, minus our importation. So basic is how, it's a kind of math to a math form to understand how big is the country, or how much money is involved in this country.
Oh,
What do you think, the Anderson?
oh, great. This is an important index worldwide, and just for our audience to understand what exactly we are talking about, because in Brazil, uh, this is they it have a different name. We're talking about the PIB, right? Produto Interno Bruto.
Yeah,
PIB and the GDP is the same thing. So
yeah,
basically,
yeah. It's for an example to better understand. It's how imagine a company that works that produce cars, or even uh, nails. All nails or cars that this company produce is our GDP, and the parts that we need to buy from other companies like steel, or even the machines, is our importation. So in the baseline, the GDP is the same of all the product, the result of product of this company. But this company is the country, like the USA or Brazil or other countries around the world.
Yeah, that's very interesting the way you painted this picture for us to understand it. So basically, everything we produce, it makes our GDP index, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I got you. That's great. Back into our reality, this year we are crossing a pandemic situation, right?
yeah,
And as a result, everyone had to change the way they consume, and this, of course, affected our GDP index. It dropped,
yeah, a
and
lot.
yeah, a lot. In our case, in Brazil's case, it became negative. So this negative index uh, is said to Brazil that's producing in the lower level compared with the same period of the last year. And this has an impact on the employment rate because all companies start to fire as the way as a way to keep working. You know, they fire people and to reduce costs and maintain themselves breathing. With this reduction of consumption, the prices level reduces too, affecting Brazilian inflation rate.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's sad. It's a news that it's very sad to hear, but it's true. With this pandemic, a lot of companies is firing people, and the person that haven't employ or money in the end, a wage in the end of the month, this person can't buy all the stuffs of the market. So this person starts to stop buying, and this reduce the our GDP, and there is a result, and this affects our inflation rate. That it's a rate that measures how high is the price. If the price of the basket of products it's higher, it's high in the period of time, or is low, it's dropped. In Brazil, I in the last quarter, the inflation rate is, I think, keep the same of the last quarter. So even in this pandemic uh, period, we maintain our inflation rate. And do you know why it's important, the inflation rate, Leanderson?
Why is it important?
Yeah.
No, wow. Can you tell me about it?
Oh, I will try. But the inflation rate, it's, as I said, it's measured through a basket product, and from a period of time, and check if the prices of the products of this basket is rising or not. If it rise, if it rises, the all the products are more expensive. So the money that the person needs to buy, like a bread, it's more than used to be. Like, imagine last week you went to the bakery, and oh, I want 10 breads, and the guy, okay, no problem, here is your 10 breads, and you pass in the cashier. Oh, it costs 20 reais. Okay, 20 reais, here you go to home and eat the bread. The next week you go ask for the same 10 breads, and the guys of the cashier says, now it's 30 reais. And you say, what? I paid 30 reais last week. And this is bad because you need more money to buy the same thing. And for people, it's very bad.
Yeah, so the inflation rate, based on what you said, the inflation rate, it measures the power our money has to purchase, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, And this is an important topic that we should discuss because now we just developed our 200 reais bill, right?
Yeah,
And people be questioning like, why did we make this bill? Why did we made it? But what they don't understand is that this is a sad story actually, because think about other countries. Let's take a case that happened in Venezuela. Venezuela inflations got so high that they couldn't they their money wasn't like you couldn't count no money no more. They were weighting the money on the scale because you needed a lot of money, like 300 thousand to buy a bag of rice. So they had to make bigger bills. They made 10,000 bills, to 20,000, 30,000 as a value. So we just progressed to 200, and
yeah,
this is a sad moment because what's next? Are we making $500 bills, 500 reais bills, 1,000 reais bills? We got to control this somehow, right?
yeah. I remember when I was a kid during the 80s and the 90s when Brazil passed by the hyperinflation here. During that period, Brazil reached 1,000% of inflation rate. I
Yeah.
remember that I have a coffin with my money and that called Cruzeiro before Real, and I need to change in one day all my money to the new money to from Cruzeiro to Real, and I have a lot and receive some notes only. And
Yeah.
I said to my father, "Oh, this is wrong. I have more money before. Now I don't have, but I don't know because I didn't know about the power of the purchase.
Yeah.
Nowadays I know.
Now you understand, right?
Yeah, but it's very sad, as you say. Like in the Venezuela's case, it's something that you usually see on the war, like in the Germany, in the First and the Second World War. I think the next topic that we can discuss is about the interest rate from Brazilian interest rate that is give by a council here in Brazil. Can you explain about that for us, Leanderson?
um, okay, Anderson, just let me find this topic here on
No, no
the script.
problem. I think in the end,
Okay,
Yeah.
so look for it a moment and then come back in and count.
Okay.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Okay.
it's in the, I believe this topic.
Do you have the script on your screen, Anderson?
Yeah, let me share with Bruce. Can you authorize me? And
Okay, you are both co-hosts now, so you can share things on your screens to help each other.
Great.
here,
Just let me give a quick read here.
no problem.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. Okay. Are you ready, Anderson?
Yeah,
Okay. Five.
five, four, three, two, one.
Uh, yeah, Anderson. I believe this topic would take an entire show to explain, but we come to our third. Oh shit! Nah,
No, no
it's a
problem.
whole nother day. Okay,
I
okay. Let's
think
go again.
I think that one. Sorry, sorry,
No, no,
Leanderson.
no. Since finally, I think I'll start at finally. What you think? Finally,
Okay,
we
no
arrived.
problem.
Okay, 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 okay. Let's go. Five, four, three, two, one. Finally, we arrive at our third index, the interest rate that is called in Brazil as Selic, right? And this index is used to attach investors from Brazil and other countries. The index represents the low interest tax that could be charged in Brazil. And this decision of level of this index is made by Copom, which means Comitê de Política Monetária, in a meeting that occurs every 45 days. Copom is the same as in the United States, FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee. And it analyzes the economy scenario in the country and sets a basic interest rate that every bank will use as a base for loans, every kind of loans. With this decision, Copom intends to increase the consumption in the Brazilian market with injection of money. So with lower interest rate, it's easier to get a loan. With more person getting money borrowed, more they will consume. As a result, expected to rise in Brazilian GDP. So this index, the Selic, will basically control, like it's a start to the evolution. So the lower it is, more money we can get from the banks because the interest rate will be lower, and as a result, we will consume more and make the Brazilian market moves.
Yeah, that's it. I remember when the Brazilian presidency elections from the beginning of 20s, the 2000, sorry, when Lula was running for the first period as a president, and the Selic was rising a lot because every investor around the world was worried because he was from left party,
Yeah,
and in the beginning of the running from the election, he said, "Oh, I will do this, I will do that," and the interest rate and the exchange exchange rate was were rising a lot because every investor around the world was worried about Lula. So usually this is an index used to check if how good is the performance of the country. Usually when you need money, you you rise your interest rate to, oh, please put your money here in my country and I will pay a lot of interest for you. And
yeah.
a lot of investors come to Brazil and here my money. Now give me my interest.
Yeah, exactly. And this that you mentioned about the parties, about Lula, it's not even like picking sides. They just looked at Lula's promises. Like, I will give houses to the poor, I will give food to the poor, I will do this. And they were checking the wallet. They were checking the Brazil's wallet. Like, okay, I got money for this. Okay, okay, more money now. And every promise
Yeah,
he made, they was counting the money on the wallet. So people be like, okay, let's raise this Selic rate because, and I believe it went to 25% at that time.
yeah.
25%.
I remember, I think in the middle of the running election, he wrote a letter for the investors saying, "Oh, I promise that I will keep the economic the economic situation in Brazil. I won't do nothing crazy in
Yeah.
my government. So please believe me." And after that, the interest rate and the exchange rate was a little bit more calm. But it's something that usually in the presidential elections, they get very crazy. It's something very fun to see, but not so fun to feel.
Yeah, exactly. And it's independent of who we are electing. Every decision we make will have some consequences, some good consequences, some bad consequences. So the market
Yeah,
keeps an eye on what's going on and make their decisions. And it's always a surprise box. We never know.
yeah. And for Brazilians, this is bad because when the this interest rate is very high, it's bad because everyone that needs a loan needs to pay a lot of
Yeah,
interest to the banks. And you say, okay, for to buy a car, I need to pay the price of the car, and the price of the interest is almost the same of the car.
exactly. You
So
pay
it's crazy.
throughout the time you pay like twice or three times the price of
Yeah,
the car. That's bad.
yeah, it's very bad. Well, I think we get our first episode here, Leanderson. What do you think?
Oh, I think it was amazing. It was a great conversation. I believe that it was good for our audience to understand a little bit about